Welcome to the show, everybody. We've got a new episode for you today, and it's all about Gamescom. A lot of announcements, 40
Yay.
plus announcements during the opening night live. Like, I think it was closer to 42
Wow,
or
really?
something like that.
Good thing you count, because I didn't count. I was just like watching it, like
No, I was
experiencing it.
watching, putting down notes, and then I did a count in the end. There were like a couple of games that were like just kind of quick, trailers and whatnot. I didn't like count those. That's why I'm saying
Yeah,
40
neither did
plus.
I.
Yeah. But anyways, we're not going to talk about every single game here. We're just going to talk about a few, picks, topics of ours, things that interested us at least. Starting
Because
out,
we
let's
have
just-
good taste, right? We have
we've
great
got
taste.
we've got amazing taste. We have amazing taste. Well, it's clear that we do because the one game that both of us kind of like highlighted that both of us wanted to talk about is an award-winning game that won 3 awards at the Gamescom Awards. I think it was held on Saturday. Lies of P, not Lies of Pi, because if you go to the Gamescom Award website, at least at the time that I did earlier, like last night, they made a mistake and they said Lies of Pi. I don't know if it's still there. If it is, I'll put up a screenshot. But Lies of P.
But it's still a great name, though. If it was called Lies of Pi, I would have still been down with it personally. But
Yeah,
it's
but I mean,
supposed to stand for something, which
well, yeah,
we'll
P for
talk about.
Pinocchio. So yeah, this
Yeah.
game. I'll just go through the description that I found on YouTube of the game. In case you haven't seen it yet, it's a very interesting game. Lies of P is an action RPG based on the classic tale of Pinocchio. Play as Pinocchio and solve the mysteries and disaster that happen in the city of Krat. During the journey, you'll be put in a situation where lying is needed to protect yourself or others. I completely forgot about the lying aspect of Pinocchio, by the way. Like when I was watching the trailer, like I
Yeah, it was
completely
a big
forgot that
deal.
that's like, yeah, it's a thing. And they didn't really highlight it. I don't think they did. They highlighted this in the game, how the lying will play a role. Anyways, Pinocchio's lying is one of the most important experiences that you'll have. At the same time, this will lead Pinocchio to become a true human being. So there's obviously that part of Pinocchio. In Lies of P, players will meet familiar characters who can be either your ally or a foe.
The real question I have is that if you lie, will his nose grow?
I
This
don't
is the
think
real
so.
question.
I don't think so because he's not wooden. That's the thing. When I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, he's more like robotic, mechanical, because
Yeah.
his left arm, or at least his left forearm, is robotic, and it's a Souls-like game.
Heavy Souls-like game. I watched like
Very.
trailer. If you go on Steam, they have this developer trailer, like that plays through the game as well, and like a bit of the intro in the game, and it is heavy on the Souls. Like you're just fighting these like puppets, like all these like everyone else is a puppet except you. That's what I like, the little twist there.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool. It looks cool.
Yeah, I saw the 11-minute gameplay footage of this that IGN released, I think, yesterday. It's so you're like there's a boss fight-ish thing at the very end. Let's say at the very last minute. For 10 minutes of the game, it just seemed kind of boring. Which is the same
Well,
feel that I
no.
got from watching some Souls, gameplay
yeah.
before. Like it's just repetitive. In Lies of P at least, almost every single enemy was like 3 attack skill, 3 attack skill, dodge,
Yeah.
3 attack skill. Like it's just that's what I mean
It's
by
kind of the
repetitive and
formula.
boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that, like again, I do agree. Or like they've done their job. It's very Souls-like in that aspect. But when it gets to the boss fight. And then in the trailer that they showed at Gamescom, the other bosses, the amazing character designs, like everything, like they looked amazing, and the boss fights, what I'm assuming were boss fights in the trailer, they looked tough, they looked interesting, they looked like
Yeah.
fast paced. There's like a lot of action, and again, my understanding is that you play Souls for the boss fights. Like that's
The
what it
bosses.
is. That's really
I was.
everything
If you didn't
else
say it,
is
I was
filler.
gonna say it.
No,
Yeah,
no,
like,
I'm aware of that. Like everything else is filler, but it reminds me of a meme that I saw. Somebody was like, Link from Zelda makes it to the world of Souls, right? And he's all excited. He's like, oh, a new adventure and whatnot. And he sees a skeleton, thinking that, oh, it's like the skeletons from any of the Zelda games, where it's like the lowest tier, like super easy, will never kill you. And then instantly the skeleton like stabs him, and it's like, welcome to Souls, bitch. So like they're on a high. Even like the skeletons in the games are like tougher or whatnot.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah. But again, like don't judge it. Don't judge the game based on the 11-minute gameplay. I would say watch the trailer if you haven't played Souls before, if you're not aware of what Souls is like, because that's like super fun. But
Yeah.
again, the idea that this is based on Pinocchio, like
That's what everyone gravitates towards, and you see Geppetto in the trailer, in the initial trailer. It looks like he's a fighter as well, because like he goes into like a house, and then like you see this massive dead puppet next to him, and he's like dragging off something that he took from this puppet.
I don't know if that's Geppetto, because there are two people they see in the trailer. One is a bit older,
Yeah,
and then the other guy. The one you're talking about is, I think, is the other guy.
maybe, but it seemed like that was Geppetto, and then he's like, "Make me proud, my son," because it was the same voice. like,
Oh, okay,
voiceover.
okay. My bad. Then yeah,
So-
in that case, then it's him. I thought that Geppetto initially. I thought that Geppetto might be one of the bad guys.
I'm not sure. It might turn out
Yeah.
that way, but from the way it started, it's like he created Pinocchio to kill all these puppets. From the looks of it.
That would be awesome. So I went to the website and they just like they have a different sort of like a story sort of blurb, and they say that you wake up at the abandoned station city. You wake up at an abandoned train station in Krat, a city overwhelmed by madness and bloodlust. In front of you lies a single note that reads, "Find Mr. Geppetto. He's here in the city." So based on that, I don't even know if he's aware of who Mr. Geppetto is. So
Yeah, could be.
I'm interested in seeing how much leeway they had, or how much did they change with the story and the connections to the characters from the original story. How did they change that? I like these kind of adaptations. I like that
Yeah.
somebody took something and then kind of made it their own. They made changes. They adapted things. They explored like new connections or new ideas.
It made it darker, a darker story, definitely. Like that's
Well, yeah,
that's
in
what's
this
cool
case,
about
they
it.
also made it like a much darker story. The graphics look really good. The cinematic looks really good. I can't put my finger on it, but I don't know, or I can't remember what that style reminded me of, like of the cinematic, like the character design style and like the art style. I don't know, but like it reminded me of something, but I just can't put my finger on it. But it looks really good. If
That's
you put
amazing. It
aside
looks good.
the quote unquote repetitive gameplay when you're not fighting bosses, it looks to be like an insane game. I have to say.
I
That's my
I hope
opinion.
you try it one day. Like I want you to try a Souls game so you understand like the mechanics, and your reaction times is everything.
Oh, no, I know all of that. I understand.
I
that.
want you to try it. Understanding is one thing.
I'm
Going
good.
through it is something.
I don't have to try it. Why do this to myself? Why torture
Challenge
myself?
yourself. It's not a
No,
tool you
well-
challenge.
Souls is like torturing yourself. It's a self-deprecating sort of game where you play it because I remember when I first heard of Souls, like when my friends first started playing it, everybody was just like complaining, but it's the kind of complaining where they love it but they hate it as much as they love it because of all the
Yeah, it's a
struggles
fine
that they have to
line.
go through.
It's a
Yeah,
fine
it's a very
line.
fine line. I was like, I don't want that. I just want to have fun. Like that's not fun to me. Anywho, it's coming out in 2023 to PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, Xbox One, Game Pass Day 1, and on PC. So that's great.
That was great. Now this next one, I highlighted it. I'm not a big RTS fan, but the fact that they had Homeworlld 3 as a reveal, like I thought that was a huge thing. It's especially for like the history of gaming. There hasn't been a Homeworlld game, or like the last one was back in 2003, sorry, not even 20. 2000, like September 2003 was the last Homeworlld 2 official game. And then like I don't know if you knew this, but Gearbox actually like remastered the game in 2015.
Yeah.
So they have like Homeworlld 1 and 2 remastered, which was pretty cool of them. But the fact that they got these developers to what were they called? Blackbird Interactive, who also did another space game, not RTS. It's called Hard Space Shipbreaker.
which was like shown off in Gamescom.
in the
Yeah.
Gamescom. Yeah,
Yeah.
but like it's been out already, like and like already people have raved about it. It's like the dad game. I don't know if you've heard that term.
No, it's a job. It's the space scavenger simulator game.
Simulator, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
there's this
I saw
one,
that it
there's-
got like a bunch of tens and whatever. So like,
Exactly,
yeah.
yeah. So the fact that they did this game and now they're doing Homeworlld 3, like I think it's pretty huge.
I think they've
So
got their hands on the space theme.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to mention that like it looked really nice like as a space RTS game, which if I was going to start somewhere I'll start with Homeworlld 3 because it looks fantastic. Like I like that
It does.
style.
Yeah, it looks really good. What I really liked about the trailer is just how it was narrated.
Like,
Because to,
in what way? Like
'cause-
cinematic wise or
well, no, because it looked like it was like like I think it was like gameplay. Yeah, it was gameplay footage that
Yeah,
was
yeah.
used in the trailer. But the guy that was like talking, the narrator in the trailer, was was telling you what was happening in the game. So first we hid behind or whatever, but then some ships like were teleported and showed up and they released the whatever. So the actions that happen in an RTS game where you move your unit and the other person kind of reacts, then this happened and that happens. He kind of like just said it all as a
Explained
story.
it, yeah.
Yeah. Not
Yeah.
like it was like a story. It was like a storytelling thing. I liked it. Like I thought that was just kind of cool to use in a trailer for an RTS game.
yeah, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure.
And it looked really good. Like it looked really, really nice. It looked very polished.
Yeah. Like I said, like if you wanted to start somewhere, like it's been over 20 years since the last Homeworld game. So the fact that there's a third one, it's coming out, it's good. Like they're continuing the genre.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, next up, very quick. We've already talked about this game, Hogwarts Legacy. They showed a new trailer. I like this new trailer. I mean, I like the first one. I like the game was interesting when they first announced it. But this new trailer, at least to me, it reveals a darker, scarier sort of side of the game.
Yeah, the
Like,
tone is definitely darker.
The tone is like a bit more Soulsy. I don't want to like say it's like a Souls game or anything like that, but like I don't know. It just felt like it was darker. It was
Because you
gritty,
saw the
it was
skeletons,
grittier.
that's why.
I saw the skeletons. I'm like, oh, this is a
You're like,
Souls game
Souls.
because only Souls. But anyways, back to Hogwarts Legacy.
Real quick, like you were saying, that we have a new release date, which is February 10th, 2023.
Yeah, because it
and
got
I wanted
delayed
to-
from this year to next year.
Yeah,
but now we
which
know when.
I know some people were upset about, but I'm personally glad that they're pushing games. Like the further out, the better for me, so I can like actually get to that game when it does come out. Because I'm still going through Xenoblade Chronicles 3. Fantastic games. Quick side note: I'm on chapter 4 now, and I freaking love this game. I think it's my game of the year so far. But anyway, I wanted to point out for Hogwarts Legacy, they did show, or the pre-orders are live, and there's a digital deluxe version. Other than that, there's like, you can get an Onyx Hippogriff mount, you can get like clothes, whatever. The fact that the digital deluxe includes a 72-hour early access, I think is a low blow for for this game, because like everyone will pay, like it's a cash grab, like people will pay just to have early access to this game. I'm sure
It's
of it.
a cash grab. I agree with you 100%. It definitely is a cash grab, but
Yeah.
is it really long?
Wrong, no, but like
You're not
for
paying
someone
extra to get the same thing. You're getting something out of it. You're paying extra to get
Yeah.
something out of it. So
you are, which is like the digital, like the mounts or whatever, like the digital items
oh no
that
no
you
no!
get.
Like the extra thing that I'm talking about is the early access. Like
Yeah.
that's what you're getting. Like I don't think it's wrong. Do you know how much it costs? Like is it a lot or is it like just a tiny bit?
I actually don't know. I have to look this up.
Because
But-
if it's a lot, then yeah, that's definitely like messed up. You shouldn't like, and it's not like you're giving them like a 1 month, early access. It's just 72 hours.
Yeah, but
And-
still,
and
I personally
for a
think it's a
game
cash
like,
grab.
no, it is a cash grab. I'm not saying that it's not, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that kind of cash grab. It's kind of like selling cosmetics.
Ah, here we go.
Obviously,
Okay.
it's a cash grab, but it's not like people want to spend money to change how they look or to add whatever. Sure, whatever, it's fine. Yeah.
So there are
how
three
much-
versions. There are
Okay.
three versions. There's the Hogwarts Legacy Collector's Edition, which is like
Yeah.
$300. I don't know if you
okay.
saw that one. It's
I
like there's
didn't
a book.
actually know. Yeah. Ooh.
So the
nice.
cool thing is there's like a book with like cool design, but not only that, that this book you plug it into the wall and it's like a magnet.
lights up?
Yeah. No,
Nice.
no, it acts as a magnet and you get a wand that actually like hovers on top of it. You should
that's
check it out.
well worth $300. Like
Yeah,
that
it's
alone
pretty
is
cool.
yeah. If you're a fan of the Wizarding World, then yeah.
Yeah. That's actually worth it. So let's
Yeah.
put that aside. So the Hogwarts Legacy Deluxe Edition is $79, according to tomsguide.com.
Okay.
And the Hogwarts Legacy Edition is $69. So it's a $10 difference between the two.
Yeah, I think that's fine. Like I'd pay
That's it.
$10 extra to get like a three. Although in this kind of game, it doesn't really matter so much because it definitely does feel like it's gonna be like a very long game.
Yeah, but you get a head
Yeah.
start from like
You
all
get
your
a
other
head start.
friends.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
it's
yeah.
all that kind of thing.
Yeah, so it's fine. It's not like they're charging $50 extra or 30 extra. Yeah, $10. It's okay. You don't have
But
to
the
get.
$300 one,
Well,
you should
you're
see that,
getting
yeah.
a levitating wand. I mean,
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool.
it's amazing. I'm assuming you're also getting all the other stuff. It's not just the book and the thing. And
There's
like,
way more stuff. I
yeah,
just
yeah.
quickly like
Yeah,
you get
$300
like
is. I would say if I was a Harry Potter fan and
here we go.
I wanted to get this game, I would pay the $300 to get the collector's edition because that is just insane. That's really cool.
So let me mention it because okay, so you get not only the Dark Arts pack, which is part of the digital deluxe version, you get the steel case that actually fits the game. Apparently, you need to include that. That's a thing now. You get the floating wand, life size with book base, which I told you have the book and the wand, and you get a collector's edition box, which is the box itself. And it also includes a Kelpie robe, 72 hours early access in-game item, by the way, and a Dark Arts Garrison hat. So that's the extra
so it's
stuff.
the same. So it's the same as the deluxe edition, but you're getting the steel case with the game, and so it's not a code. You're getting the actual disc.
Yeah.
You're getting the box, the collector's edition box, and you're getting the levitating. Yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it's worth it. Yeah, you're gonna pay a lot of shipping, but it's gonna be worth it because that's gonna be one heavy.
It's heavy.
package.
Definitely heavy. Yeah.
yeah.
That's it. That's the quick mention. So much
The
for
important
quick,
thing
but-
is the February 10th release date for Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah, I wanna see the levitating wand in action. So maybe in Feb. Next up, Gearbox game. New Tales from the Borderlands. Not Tales from
I
the
know you were
Borderlands. New
surprised.
Tales
Yeah,
from the
new
Borderlands.
Tales.
I actually saw the announcement but I never it never hit me that it was a Gamescom announcement. So before, because I watched the show yesterday, but then I saw the news pop up that there's a new Tales from the Borderlands, and I thought, oh, that's really cool. So it was. I just remembered it was leaked because even Randy Pitchford was on stage and he mentioned it's like, yeah, the game was leaked, but this is now official. We got some of the like original writers and storytellers from the Telltale games to work on a new Tales from the Borderlands. So this is new characters, new story. It seems like TDO, or I think if I got it right, the TDO Corporation is going to be the bad guys this time around. They're looking for a vault. You have to go find the vault first, I'm assuming. I don't really know much of the story of this game, but there was something interesting in it. It takes place after, like, I would assume it takes place after the events of Borderlands 3 because there was a character that was holding a Zane action figure. Zane is one of the playable characters in Borderlands 3. So he was holding like an action figure. It was a very quick shot in the trailer. And then right after that, there was a scene where it looked like it was a fighting game because you had like 2 health bars. And then there were 2 figurines like fighting each other. So I don't know if this is like a mini game in the Tales game or something. I don't know. One of the figurines is Zane.
Yeah.
The other figurine is a character called Fuang. Definitely not from Borderlands 3 as far as I remember. So might be an original character or maybe from one of the other games. So they're doing the typical Borderlands thing where they kind of like quirk things up a little bit. So I don't know what this is, but it's amazing that the Borderlands franchise is expanding yet again. I hope that this meets the expectations of everybody that played the Tales from the Borderlands game from a story perspective, because I never played it. I tried playing it. It just didn't capture me at that time because I was looking for the Borderlands 2 game. Like I was looking for that experience. I was looking for that
full
sort of
game.
Oh,
like
no,
that.
not
The
full
original
game because, well, yeah, but not that Tales is not a full game. It is, but I was looking for that kind of
Crazy.
gameplay, like fast-paced action, looting, shooting, all that sort of stuff. And like Tales is not that. Tales is very story-driven. Choose your own adventure or whatever. Like just like all the other Telltale Games, and I wasn't looking for that at the time. I might go back and give it a shot because this game, new Tales from the Borderlands, is coming out October 21st, and
Very
it's coming
soon.
out everywhere. Yeah, PS5, PS4, Xbox Series, Xbox One, Switch, Steam, and Epic Games. So I might give it a shot, but even if I don't, I'm still happy. I want the Borderlands franchise to keep on growing. I want it to keep on expanding. We have the movie coming out at some point.
Yeah.
I really expected it to come out this year, but no announcement has been made yet because I think they finished shooting last year or very early this year. We've had an offshoot into the Tiny Tina Wonderlands game. So like I want to see more of this franchise, out there, and this is one of them. But like I said, I hope that it satisfies or that it meets the expectations of everybody that loved the original Tales from the Borderlands game.
I felt that.
Yeah. Okay. So, oops, sorry. Next up, this is Moonbreaker, an interesting game. To me, okay, so Moonbreaker to me had the most interesting announcement. Not the game itself, but an aspect of the game set it apart from everything else that I saw, and this is my humble opinion. So this is a world premiere game. It's a turn-based sci-fi digital miniatures game. So it's a tabletop
It's a
kind of
mouthful,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's like it was actually first described as a turn-based sci-fi game, and then somebody else described it as a digital miniature game. I'm like, just put it all together. So yeah, they digitized the miniatures gaming experience, and these kind of tabletop games actually, you might think that Dungeons and Dragons, like that's what it is, but I did a very quick sort of reading. Dungeons and Dragons was actually based off, or was kind of like made based on a tabletop game called Chainmail, like back in 1971. So Dungeons and Dragons might be,
Interesting.
yeah. I had no idea either. And with these kind of games, with miniature games specifically, not Dungeons and Dragons, because for a while apparently they stopped using miniatures, but with these kind of games like word games and all that sort of stuff, you have like little tiny miniatures that you use to represent your troops or your units and whatnot. And one awesome aspect of these kind of games is that in real life people will have these figurines and they're sold and they're like all gray, right? And people paint them. I don't know if you've seen Henry Cavill painting his Warhammer figurines like a couple of
No,
years ago.
not Henry Cavill, no.
Henry Cavill is like a
Of course, he's a big
yeah,
time gamer, but I didn't know
yeah.
about the figurines part.
Oh yeah, he's like really into it. So a lot of people, like I've seen some really creative, really like beautiful sort of like pieces of art really with what they do with these figurines, and they paint them. And so painting figurines is a big part of tabletop games, or it's a big part of miniatures games, I should say. And they took that and they added that to the game, and it looks really, really good. So to me, when I was watching the trailer, it looked like somebody was using like a stylus on a tablet or something, and it was like adding some detailing and whatnot to this area that they were like painting
yeah.
on. It didn't look like it was a like click here and then fill this area with this one color. It looks like you can add a lot of detailing, some texturing, and all that sort of stuff. And my jaw dropped. I was like, "Oh, this is insane!" And that's why, to me,
That's pretty cool, yeah.
yeah,
It does
'cause
look
they,
really, really cool.
and they did something completely different. Like they're able to replicate something that was so physical and tactile, and and they're able to kind of like replicate it
Needed
in a
attention
way.
to detail, yeah.
Yeah, so they were able to replicate that in the game, and now, of course, I don't know how well it. Like I don't know, like how well does it replicate that? How many options do you have with like adding the detailing and all that sort of stuff? It would be great if the game can get like free DLCs with like colors and textures and materials that you can use. Do you want something to be glossy, or do you want something to be matte or whatever? Like I really want to hear from people that actually do like paint miniature figurines, and like just tell me what they think about this aspect of the game. Is this by itself like a game seller? I mean, for me, it would be. And they also, sorry, go on.
No, I was gonna say like this. I was gonna mention the style of the game. I like the style
Yes.
of it. Like other
Yeah.
than the tabletop drawing, like the
Painting.
the action. Or sorry, tabletop painting. on the figurines. Like the style of the game is like what do you call it? Like XCOM or something, and like each character has like their own
Yeah.
personality as
So
well.
so
Like
they
yeah,
mentioned it on stage. This is also something else that I liked. I forgot what his name was, but the guy from the studio, like, just flat out said that the style is similar to Guardians of the Galaxy and Firefly. So, like, some people might shy away from
Firefly.
saying,
Yeah,
well, I mean, nobody should shy away from Firefly. Go watch Firefly now. But what I'm saying is that some people might shy away from, like, mentioning what the references was, right? Because they don't want people to think that they're copying. But, like, they're like, nope, this is Guardians of the Galaxy and Firefly, and the gameplay is Hearthstone meets XCOM.
yeah,
So you build a unit, you have like your captain or whatever, and you have like 10 crew members. You build them out, and then you send them to the battlefield, and each character has their own unique, like I said, like personality, and I'm assuming they're
yeah,
also their own unique sort of like move set or abilities or attacks or powers or anything of that sort. And yeah, you fight it out. But to me, the thing that stood out the most, and that part of the game, the gameplay, the actual game part of the game, did look really nice. And they're also like figurines on the field.
yeah.
So this is like a miniature game through and through, just digitized. Yeah. But yeah, like what stood out to me was like that whole painting aspect. They should release this as a standalone thing. Like maybe even like if the game is, I don't know, $60, I'd pay $15 just for that. Like just as a standalone, not not pay $60 for the game and then pay extra for that. That should obviously be part of the game. But if they release it as a standalone like experience or standalone game or whatever, I would do that because
Yeah.
it's it can be kind of like soothing to like paint things, right? Like to me at least it is. Like painting or drawing or doing all this sort of stuff. It's a good thing to do when you have some time and you don't want to think about anything, and it might be good for your health is all I'm saying.
Yeah. Well, if you want, if you go over to Steam now, you can join their playtest. You can request for access to playtest the game.
September 29th. Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's right. That's the release date, which is coming up quite soon. So you might be able to like test out the game,
I
at least
might,
try it
yeah.
out
I want to see
until
like
then.
how the thing works. I want to look more into the painting aspect of this game. But yeah, so that's something that I wanted to talk about. The last game that we want to mention really quick, it's not really about the game itself, but it's about something that I saw on Twitter. High on Life. So we talked about this game when it was revealed in Summer Games Fest, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
It's like Rick and Morty the game. It's beautiful from that aspect. Looks really fun. It's quirky. It's all the Rick and Morty sort of like type of
Humor.
things.
Humor
Yeah,
and
exactly.
style. Yeah.
Yeah, humor. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Even the voice acting, which is just awesome. What they did do is they showed off a boss fight gameplay footage. Looks fun. Looks like it can be a little bit challenging if you don't really get the hang of the controls. And they highlighted that the gun talks to you, which is something that we've seen in the trailer. But the
Initial
cool
trailer.
thing
Yeah.
here is, yeah, in the initial trailer, like when they first revealed the game. But what's cool here is that it seems like the gun really talks, like what the gun says, and the knife, because the other weapon that he had at some point was a knife that had the grapple hook sort of like
Yeah, the grapple
functionality.
hook,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. They
And the
both,
psychotic personality as well. Like
yeah, yeah. They're
that goes
all
hand
they're
in hand.
all like crazy and wacky. Yeah. But so it seems like the weapons will talk to you, according to the context of what's happening. So when you shoot her, he will say something about like, oh, that you got her or whatever. If you miss, I think like it says something that, oh, like make sure that you aim right, or I don't remember what the dialogue was exactly, but it seems like
It's
the
reactive.
context,
Yeah.
yeah, it's reactive. The context of what's being said is reactive to what's happening in the game, or like the action that you just took, which is really cool. Also, something that was, I want to say, a callback to Borderlands 2, because there was a gun that talked, and there
Oh
was
yeah.
there was a gun that talked, but it was, if I'm not mistaken, it was a very annoying gun. There are actually a couple of guns that talk. One of the guns talked with the voice of Handsome Jack, if I'm not mistaken. It was called the Jackhammer, I think. So the talking guns was a thing before. That's all I'm saying.
It all leads back to Borderlands
It
2. That's
always leads
interesting.
back to Borderlands, is what I'm saying. Yeah. But the thing I want to talk about here is that IGN posted a clip, not from this trailer, but apparently there was like gameplay footage taken from the show floor, I want to say, or we're going to assume, where there was a character, a kid, an alien kid, that was daring you, the player, to shoot him, like to kill him, basically. And the gun was telling you, it's weird to say the gun was telling you, I don't know what the name is, or I don't know if they do have names or whatnot, but the gun was telling you, don't do it, don't shoot the kid, don't do it. And then the kid is like, like taunting you to shoot him, shoot him, shoot him. And you shoot him, or the player shoots him. I don't know if it's like a part of a mission that they have to do, or if it's like the choice is completely theirs. But anyways, in this clip, the player shoots him, and the gun yells out, like, "Oh my God, you shot the kid!" There goes our E for everybody rating. Yeah,
That's
and like
the joke they wanted to land.
Yeah, and like he says, like you don't usually shoot kids in games, so it's like breaking the fourth wall, which is a kind of humor that I also like. And this whole scene is like pushing the envelope. But then some people had issues with how this game had you shoot a kid, and the line should be drawn there, and all that stupid talk. And I just want to say that I think these people need to chill, the F out.
Yeah.
It's just a game. It's not telling you to go shoot kids in real life.
Yeah, it's taken out of context.
And you've done it. Doesn't the context doesn't even matter. This kid could be the best kid in the universe. He's been awarded. You are the best, most innocent, pure kid in the universe, and you shot him. It doesn't matter. It really does not matter because it's just a game. It's so ludicrous. Yeah.
They should have added that.
It's like, like a medal or something. It's like, yeah. But yeah, I just think it's stupid that people are getting upset over something like that. And yeah. Oh, what else?
It's like you don't know the internet, Tim. Yeah, I know. I knew you had to like let it out. I'm glad you let it out.
Yeah.
There's only two last things we should mention real quick. One thing that we're actually both excited for, which I'm surprised. No, I shouldn't say surprised. Like, I'm glad.
Come on. Yeah.
I'm glad because you like new hardware, which is the PlayStation DualSense Edge controller is a thing.
And I like the good products, and this looks like it's a good product.
Yeah. So Sony, again, going hard with new hardware in all sense, in all factors, has released pretty much the Xbox Elite controller, but for PlayStation. So finally, I think Sony needed to do this like sooner than later, but like finally it's an official thing.
Yeah. You're right. They never had anything like it.
Yeah.
The one thing, the closest thing they had to it was a back buttons attachment for the PS4 controller.
I mean, yeah.
Because I'm saying that's the closest thing.
That is pretty.
It gave you, if I'm not mistaken, 4 paddles.
Right.
And you can customize them, and you can save profiles on the. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the closest thing official from Sony.
And I feel like that came late in the PlayStation 4's lifetime.
Oh yeah. It wasn't early on. It wasn't early on.
Late.
I think it came out 2018, maybe.
I can't remember. Yeah, something like
that.
But
it was definitely late. Yeah. So tell us, what can you do with this DualSense Edge controller? It gives you an edge.
An edge in game because you can replace the joysticks. Yay!
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a big deal. That's a big deal.
So if you ever get like a dead controller or dead, what is it called?
Drift. Joy-Con drift.
Thank you. Yeah, Joy-Con drift. You can actually take it out, replace the joystick, and not only the joystick itself, but the caps as well.
The caps.
Yeah.
So they have like a high profile, low profile, and flat profile. So depending on the game you're playing, depending on how you like the controllers to be. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, which is cool.
Which is nice. Again, for a pro controller, that's what you need. You have adjustable trigger lengths as well. So the trigger themselves, you can put it higher or lower, which again is cool. Every hand is different. And you also, like you mentioned,
no. I think you misunderstood that.
Which one is that?
The trigger length. It's not about adjusting the height of the length of the trigger like itself, but how far they have to push.
I thought something else.
Because the Xbox Elite controller has that. So it's got it's got like just a switch. I think the Edge controller has 2 or 3 settings, but with the Xbox Elite controller, it's just a switch.
So it makes it more sensitive or less sensitive kind of thing?
So you basically have to push all the way through for the trigger to activate, or they just click a little bit for the trigger to activate.
Okay,
So
so
kind of
that's
like the
the
actuation thing
okay.
on keyboards, like you have to push a lot to activate the key, or just push
Okay,
like
my
a little
bad.
bit the travel distance. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing, which I think works a lot better for the dual edge because the triggers are adjustable. Not
Yeah.
adjustable; they're adaptive. I mean, sorry.
Yeah, so it
So
helps.
yeah, exactly, yeah,
So you've got that. You've got which you just quickly mentioned, the paddles on the back of the controller, also like to add more buttons, customizable.
yeah,
All the profiles can be customized. You can remap the buttons, which I found very cool.
yes,
Adjust the stick sensitivity, also very cool. I think that's like for whatever type of game you're playing, you can always
yeah.
have as sensitive or as not sensitive as you want. I like that because personally for me, for a lot of like JRPG games or like 3D, like when you move the camera, I don't like the camera to move too fast, so
Yeah,
I
yeah,
like the
yeah,
camera
yeah.
moving slower, so like my slow ass brain can like pick up on what's happening. Some
You're
people
not
are like
slow.
twitchy. Yeah, I'm slow. I don't get numbers right, and I don't get like actual facts right. I'm slow.
Then we're both slow, buddy. We're slow together.
Anyway, and the other thing is you can adjust the dead zones, the trigger dead zones as well, and the vibration intensity. Again, like
Yeah,
all
really,
customizable,
yeah,
more
yeah.
options.
I
Finally,
think
Sony. Yeah.
also, I think this also is a good thing from an accessibility perspective. Like if you have some sort of issue, like mobility issues, where you can't really use a joystick properly, for example, or like adjusting the sensitivity and the dead zones. I believe in some maybe niche or like there are occasions it might actually help you like have more control over the controller. I want to say at least I don't know.
That's cool. Yeah, I
And
never
the
considered
vibration
that, but
intensity I think is really good because battery life. We don't really know
true.
how
Yeah.
much like the battery life of this is going to be. We don't even know the price or the release date.
Yeah, nothing yet. The only thing we know, it has a braided USB-C cable and a carrying case with the charger
Yeah,
as well.
they
That's it.
on the PlayStation on the I think it was the PlayStation blog or maybe I saw
Yeah.
it somewhere else. The cable also has like a locking mechanism, which I thought
Oh, I
was
didn't know that.
weird. Yeah,
What
so it's
does
a
that
locking
mean?
mechanism, so like it locks on to the controller and you don't accidentally disconnect. I don't know how hard people are swinging and moving and shaking the controllers that the cable pops out. I don't know.
That's, I think, people who rage quit or like
Yeah, but
maybe that's it.
they should have added like a MagSafe thing, like a magnetic thing, where it's a strong magnet. But if somebody like yanks because it's a wired, like if you want to use it as a wired controller, you always have
You
the
can.
risk of like somebody like yanking the controller or it getting caught on something or whatever.
Yeah.
You having the magnetic sort of like breakable thing would save your console. Because imagine you like
Yeah.
you like quickly yank it and then it's like locked onto the controller. It might pull the console out of the TV bench or something, or if it's like standing somewhere, it will fall. So yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. Okay, yeah, could be. Maybe that's it. But either way, I'm very excited. I want to know more about this controller. I want this controller.
It
Very
is very
much.
exciting. I think you should. I mean, because even PC games, you use your controller to play them, right? So it's not
That's
just for
right. Yeah.
PS5. I wonder if there's any limitation with the software side of things if you use it on PC.
Of course,
Like if
already the DualSense is fully compatible on PC. You
no,
can
like
use it straight
I mean,
away.
like the,
So
the profiles and adjusting all that sort of stuff. Like, I wonder if that is also transferable to PC, because there
we'll
is
have
a
to wait and
function
see.
button that you press that will pop out the controller settings. So that is obviously on the PS5, but on the PC, I don't know. Like,
You
if
should be
there's
able
soft,
to.
yeah, okay, yeah. So yeah, that's about it. One more announcement, not a game, not hardware, a podcast
Podcast out of nowhere.
by Hideo Kojima announced a new podcast because he already had another podcast that he announced early this year in Feb. So this is a new podcast called Brain Structure,
Cool
Hideo
name, by the
Kojima's
way.
Brain Structure
Yeah,
podcast. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So it's coming out on September 8th and it's exclusively on Spotify.
I
There will
can't
be
wait.
English and Japanese versions that will have simultaneous interpretations. If you go to the Spotify page for the podcast, you'll find a trailer or like a prologue, and there's an English one and there's a Japanese one, and there's like the production value is good. Even like like there's like sound effects, and the guy doing
Music
the
of
English one
birds.
is Yeah, I know. But like, what caught my eye is that like the guy doing the English translation, like the intro part of that prologue, like it sounded like it was a movie trailer. It wasn't like just some guy translating what's going on, like but it was like fully voice acted. Let's just say.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they
And I
also announced.
suspect.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No,
I
no.
suspect this was the trailer that Hideo Kojima was teasing before, because he teased like, "I'm working on a trailer,
On a
guys." And
trailer,
everyone thought it was a new game trailer. Oh, this is it.
I mean, people might have thought it was also. I think we talked about this. Now that I think we thought he was also talking about the Microsoft game.
Yeah, which I think
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
was.
Everybody
waiting
was
for,
like, yeah, anticipating that it might be the Microsoft game.
Yep.
I hope that
Okay.
that's not it. I hope that that's not it. That like he really is working on like a trailer for a new game, and this is just
see.
something else that happened on the side.
Could be from now till Tokyo Game Show. That's the next
It
big
could
one.
be.
We'll see.
Yeah. They also announced that Jeff will be doing like a regular entertainment industry news section on the show. So that's going to be a regular thing. That's cool. Like Jeff and Kojima together, I think, is a very good
Best buds.
combination.
He was
Yeah,
so
yeah.
excited to finally like talk
was.
about it. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
we have a podcast, guys. He was nerding out. He's like, yes.
I mean,
We
as
are
you
doing-
should, having a podcast is like the best thing ever, right? You
Oh,
should
right.
nerd out and be excited
You're right. You're right. I
being in a
just realized
podcast.
why.
Yeah, exactly. Why do you think I mentioned this? Anyways, guys, go check it out on Spotify. The first episode is coming out on September 8th, but I think you should follow because what Kojima is going to do is going to bring in like industry sort of like professionals and leaders, and I'm assuming it's all about his process in creating these games and the stories and whatnot. So I would also assume that it's not just going to be like gaming industry. I think it's going to get people from the movie industry as well, because Kojima just like wants
be
to be a
interesting.
filmmaker. Like that's his dream.
That's his long dream. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I'm sure he's been heavily influenced, either in terms of like direction or stories or whatever. He's been heavily influenced by movies or like short films or projects. Like, so I have a feeling it's not just going to be like he's going to get people from the gaming industry. He's going to get people from other entertainment industry. Other entertainment industries. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's about it. Really quickly, there was the Gamescom Awards. A bunch of
Oh,
people won.
okay.
Lies of P won 3 awards. It won
Okay.
Best Action Adventure Game. It also won Best Role Playing Game, and it also won Most Wanted PlayStation Game. And I know you want to mention Foothold. One game
there
that
was
won
one-
something.
There's the most wanted Xbox game, which is The Last Case of Benedict Fox, which I'm glad this game name came up because people forgot about it. So like the fact
Yeah,
that it came
yeah.
back up, because it still looks like a very interesting game. So I'm still waiting for that game to come out. We both are. I know. We discussed it before.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. I'm sure there's been plenty of other announcements at Gamescom, but we can't keep doing this forever.
We don't care. What we announced was important. That's what
That's the
counts.
only thing that matters. Yeah. But go check out your favorite publications, your favorite YouTubers, see what else is happening. Gamescom is a big deal. They also announced, I think, the date for the Game Awards, December something or the other, December 8th.
Actually, yeah, that was at the very, very end. Yes.
Yeah,
it was.
exactly. Yeah. So that's one more thing to look forward to. And with that, let's just end it right here. Thanks for watching the episode. Do drop us a like or comment or subscribe for more content like this. You can also head on to badgood.gg to find our audio podcast over there. We're also on Twitter and Instagram at badgoodpod. So give us a follow and we'll catch you in the next one.